This is Tokyo Lights. I love the glitter in this. It's got pinks, iridescent colors, gold. It's just absolutely phenomenal. You might notice that I have something shiny on my nails. I've buffed them for one, and then I use the nail strengthener. This is new. This is only my second time using it. So over time I should see how well that works. These are the two largest pieces in the set of 16 that comes in a package. I'm going to take the smaller of the two. I'm going to pull off the clear top, toss that. And my nails are getting, my thumbnails are getting long enough that I'm not able to do one strip on two different nails. So that makes it easier to do it on my thumbs and show you this method. So I'm going to pull that off of the paper backing, and I want to gently pull off this tab at the top. And I don't have to be as careful. You see I got a little bit of a hook there. It doesn't matter because that's going to get tossed. And the first one, because I'm going to double this up, I don't want it all the way to my cuticle. So you see I've got a little bit of a gap there. Start in the middle and push it on either direction. And you just pinch this. Pinch it on the end. And you can take your thumbnail from the other hand and just gently perforate that. Pull that off and toss it. So that's one way to do it. And then I would take my orange stick and just get any excess out of there. Get that off of there. And I like using these gentle, soft nail cuticle pushers, just to make sure everything is nice and sits pretty. Another way to do it, and I've already got the plastic top coat off of there, so I'm going to pull that off of there, take the perforated part, and I'm going to do that on this nail. Try not to get it all the way to the back. Just gently make sure that it's nice and smooth. Fold it down a little bit because I definitely want it to go to the end of my nail. And this comes in your packet, and you don't want to go back and forth. You want to go in a nice downward motion. And you're just perforating the nail strip enough to be able to pull it off. So that's two different ways of doing it: quick, 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 and easy. And then get rid of the excess. And then again, take my cuticle pusher, make sure everything is laying nice and smooth. And I don't want this excess, because as it grows out, that's going to catch on things and start pulling it off of my nail, because this is the nail strips are going to get more and more rigid as they dry. They're not wet per se, but right now they are what I'd call pliable, I guess you could say. So they're going to get less and less pliable, and when it's all said and done, I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to have what feels like liquid nail polish, except frankly I think that's much prettier if you ask me. I'm going to do the second coat. I'm not giving this a lot of time to cure before I put the second coat on, but generally speaking that's okay. And this one is definitely going to be too big for my nail bed. And so this is an example of if you want to use a pedicure set, you just love that pedicure set, and you're afraid that most of it's going to be too big for your nails, that's okay. Just gently pull that off. Make sure everything is going over on the edges the way it's supposed to. And this helps me know also where my finger starts and my nail ends, because it's not cutting it, it's just gently pushing things in. So I have a really good idea of where I'm going to perforate that on the excess. So your pedicure set, you can make it work for your nails, even if they seem excessively big. If you've got small nail beds on your toes, you can use your manicure sets for your toenails. There's just so much versatility with this. I love it. They're done. See how easy that is? I just want to make sure everything lays nice and smooth for the next 2 weeks, not just right now. There we go. So this will be my pinky. So I put that on the left. And then these are kind of wild cards. So depending on which nail I'm working on, I might pull those out. So there are a couple different ways you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the backing. I'm going to pull that tab off gently. So what I like to do, since I'm trying to double them, see, I've got a gap there, and that I have a tendency to do that. So I'm just going to be able to move that over a little bit. And when I feel like that's pretty good, I go ahead and smooth that from the bottom, middle, and then go to the outsides. So one way that you can do this, because I like to have it go on numerous nails. So just very gently pull that down, kind of tug on it a little bit as you go, but use your thumbnail to pull that off. And then smooth that down as much as you can. And now I've got this over here to use on my other nail. So that's one way to do it. So there I go. So I do the pinkies first, and then I do the ring fingers, and I move all the way in, leave my thumbs for last because I'm using them as tools. And that way, that gives them a little bit of time to set, to dry a little bit. And then I go back and I do the second set. So this is a set aside for my pinkies to do later. So then I just take these and kind of look. That's probably good for my middle finger. That's a little wide. I think that's going to be my forefinger. And so I've got 2 extras. I can use this down the road, or if I make any mistakes. So another way that I like to do this, so I will pull this off and then reapply that to the white backing. Gently pull this off and discard that. And I start it on my nail. When I think that I have it where I want it, I'm pulling on it a little bit. Don't want to pull it too hard or it's going to tear, but I'll just cut that. And I leave this on my backing. So this is the smooth side that it came off of. This is the side that it's going to stick to and not come off. So I just set that aside. That gives me some time to make sure that this is where it needs to be. Make sure I'm happy with it. And I've got a little excess there, so I'm going to take the orange stick and get rid of some of that excess. And you want to be gentle because you don't want to hurt yourself. I have been aggressive sometimes and got a little bit of basically like a paper cut type of a cut. I like to use the glass files because it's a little bit more gentle and just get some of that excess off of there. And that way I feel like I'm not filing my nails down. And that just perforates it a little bit. So you can use either kind. But there we go with that. Let's make sure that that's down on the sides and I'm happy with it. One of the reasons I really like the glitters is they're forgiving a lot more than the solids. I like the solids too, don't get me wrong, but I can be kind of messy with these and it doesn't really show. And I think they hold a little bit stronger, especially when my nails were more delicate. They're getting stronger. I've been doing this for 2 years now. Definitely huge improvement. Huge. So I'll just keep going down my nails and cleaning them up, the ends, and I'll come back in a few minutes. So now I'm going to start on the second layer. And this is where I want to get a little bit closer to my cuticle as much as I can. Because you're putting one strip on top of another, it gets a little dicey if you're trying to pull it off multiple times. Because if you get that really nice and solid on there, you're going to pull the first one off, and you don't want to do that. And again, you can do this with your fingernails if you want to. I'm still keeping it on the white paper backing. That's just my personal preference. But I've got it on there. And I've got the other one protected for the moment. And I'm gonna make sure everything is nice and solid on there. It goes to the end. I have been known to also have the nail strips go over the edge for overnight, and then I go back with a nail file and I file it off the next morning. That helps if you're finding that they're shrinking a lot, which it's summer when I'm doing this. Shrinkage is not going to be a big deal over the summer. It's more in the winter that you might see that. But these are all personal choices. There's just multiple ways of doing it. But the bottom line is this is simple, easy. You can do it at home. You can do it in the morning. You can do it in the afternoon. You can do it at night. It's really up to you. There. So now I'm going to go with the next one. And what other people have said is grab it in the middle. You have a little bit more control. I like the white backing, but I'm showing you that there's multiple ways to do the same thing. And since this is the end and there's some ability to fold that over, I'm doing that. So I've got some hanging down, and I can take my nail and I can get the worst of it. If there's anything residual underneath, I'm going to catch that in the morning. I want to give them the best chance to cure overnight. And I don't like to use lotion or essential oils just to, give them the best edge. Mine have been lasting about 2 weeks, which is fantastic. I like being able to try new colors. I like being able to do this at home. So, I have a manicure. It's done. It did not take me long at all. What do you think? I love it.